Legends of the Germanic Warriors. Introduction. The Germanic warriors of antiquity were more than just fierce combatants. They were the embodiment of their tribe's values, culture, and mythology. Celebrated in sagas, oral traditions, and historical accounts, these warriors played pivotal roles in resisting the might of Rome, defending their homelands, and shaping the future of Europe. From legendary leaders like Arminius to nameless heroes whose exploits became part of tribal lore, the Germanic warriors left an indelible mark on history. This narrative explores the legends and legacies of these warriors, delving into their cultural significance, iconic figures, and enduring myths. Chapter 1. The Spirit of the Germanic Warrior. Germanic warriors were defined by their connection to their tribe, their land, and their gods. They fought not for conquest but for survival, honor, and the preservation of their way of life. Core values: courage. Valor in battle was the highest virtue. Warriors sought glory through acts of bravery, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Loyalty. Allegiance to one's chieftain and tribe was paramount. Betrayal was seen as the gravest dishonor. Freedom. The tribes valued independence above all, and their warriors symbolized the defiance of external control, particularly against the Roman Empire. Mythological underpinnings. Germanic warriors believed they were chosen by the gods, particularly Odin, Woden, and Thor Donner, to fight for their people. Death in battle was seen as a path to Valhalla, a warrior's paradise. Rituals and omens often guided warriors into battle, with sacred groves and animal sacrifices serving as sources of divine guidance. Chapter 2. Arminius, the hero of Teutoburg. No figure epitomizes the Germanic warrior spirit more than Arminius, the Cheruscan chieftain who masterminded the ambush at Teutoburg Forest in AD 9. Arminius' victory over the Roman legions was both a military triumph and a legendary tale of resistance. The legend. Trained as a Roman auxiliary, Arminius used his knowledge of Roman tactics to unite rival tribes and stage one of history's most famous ambushes. His forces annihilated 3 Roman legions under Varus, dealing a devastating blow to the Roman Empire's ambitions in Germania. Despite his triumph, Arminius' attempts to consolidate power among the tribes were met with internal resistance. He was ultimately assassinated by his own people, a tragic end that solidified his mythic status. Legacy. Arminius, later known as Hermann in German history, became a symbol of German unity and independence. His victory at Teutoburg remains one of the most celebrated events in Germanic lore. Chapter 3. Velida, the seeress of the Bructeri. Velida, a prophetess of the Bructeri tribe, was a spiritual leader whose influence extended beyond the battlefield. She played a central role during the Batavian Revolt, 69 to 70 CE, inspiring warriors with her visions and guidance. The legend. Velida was believed to have direct communication with the gods, making her a revered figure among her people. Her prophecies were said to have predicted key victories during the revolt led by Gaius Julius Civilis. Captured by the Romans after the revolt's suppression, Velida's story became a symbol of the enduring spiritual resistance of the Germanic tribes. Legacy. Velida represents the importance of spiritual leaders in Germanic culture, where warriors often drew strength and purpose from the divine. Chapter 4. Alaric, the sack of Rome. Though technically a Gothic leader, Alaric I's exploits are often included in the broader tapestry of Germanic warrior legends. His sack of Rome in 410 CE marked a turning point in European history. The legend. Alaric, originally serving as a Roman auxiliary, rose to lead the Visigoths during a time of great migration and upheaval. Frustrated by broken Roman promises, he led his warriors into Italy, ultimately sacking Rome, a city that had stood unconquered for over 800 years. The sack was relatively restrained, with churches spared and large-scale massacres avoided, showcasing Alaric's strategic and diplomatic acumen. Legacy. Alaric's campaign symbolized the shift of power from the Roman Empire to the Germanic tribes, heralding the beginning of the medieval era. Chapter 5. The Anonymous Warriors of Teutoburg. While Arminius is the face of the Teutoburg Forest victory, the nameless Germanic warriors who executed the ambush embody the collective spirit of their people. The legend. These warriors used guerrilla tactics to outmaneuver and outfight the disciplined Roman legions. They relied on the dense forests, knowledge of terrain, and coordinated attacks to decimate Varus' forces. Tales of their courage and ingenuity were passed down through oral traditions, creating a mythic aura around the battle. Legacy. The anonymous warriors of Teutoburg symbolize the power of collective action and the ability of smaller, less centralized forces to overcome a vast empire. Chapter 6. Civilis, the rebel leader. Gaius Julius Civilis, a Batavian chieftain, led a dramatic revolt against Roman rule during the year of the Four Emperors, 69 CE. His story blends heroism, strategy, and rebellion. The legend. A former Roman auxiliary, Civilis used his knowledge of Roman tactics to rally his tribe and other Germanic allies. The revolt culminated in the siege of Castra Vetera, a Roman stronghold on the Rhine. Civilis' forces captured the fort after a prolonged battle, shaking Rome's hold on the region. Despite initial successes, the rebellion was ultimately crushed, forcing Civilis to negotiate peace. Legacy. Civilis' story highlights the complexities of allegiance and the potential for Germanic leaders to challenge Roman authority from within. Chapter 7. The Marcomannic Warriors. The Marcomanni, a powerful Germanic confederation, were central players during the Marcomannic Wars, 166 to 180 CE. Their warriors, led by kings like Balomar, repeatedly tested Rome's resilience. The legend. During the reign of Marcus Aurelius, the Marcomanni invaded Roman territories, even threatening Italy itself. The Marcomannic warriors were known for their ferocity and ability to adapt to Roman military strategies. Though ultimately repelled, their campaigns demonstrated the growing strength and organization of the Germanic tribes. Legacy. The Marcomannic Wars foreshadowed the eventual migration of Germanic peoples into Roman lands, marking the beginning of the empire's decline. Chapter 9. The Eternal Flame of Germanic Resistance. The Germanic warriors' legacy is not confined to specific battles or leaders. It lies in their enduring spirit of independence and defiance. Whether fighting Rome, migrating into new territories, or establishing kingdoms that would shape medieval Europe, their stories resonate as symbols of resilience. Key themes. Adaptability. Germanic warriors learned from their enemies, incorporating Roman tactics while maintaining their distinct identity. Unity in diversity. Though often fragmented, the tribes came together in moments of existential threat, proving the strength of collective action. Cultural impact. Their legends influenced medieval epics, Norse mythology, and even modern national identities. Conclusion. The lasting legacy of Germanic warriors. The legends of the Germanic warriors are more than tales of battle. They are reflections of a culture deeply rooted in freedom, honor, and connection to the land. From Arminius' victory at Teutoburg to the nameless fighters who resisted Rome's incursions, these warriors shaped the course of history and inspired generations to come. Their stories, woven into the fabric of European identity, remind us of the enduring power of resilience and the unyielding spirit of those who fight for their homeland. Banda NOI. Teep. ChatGPT da NOI. ChatGPT. 10. The Wanderers, Germanic migrants as warriors. As the Roman Empire weakened in the 4th and 5th centuries CE, Germanic tribes such as the Visigoths, Ostrogoths, Vandals, and others embarked on large-scale migrations. These movements were driven by pressure from the Huns and a search for new territories. While often portrayed as invaders, the warriors among these migrants embodied both the martial traditions of their ancestors and the adaptability needed to navigate a changing world. The legend of the Visigoths. Under the leadership of Alaric I, the Visigoths transitioned from Roman auxiliaries to a formidable force. Their sack of Rome in 410 CE was less a barbarian invasion and more a statement of the shifting power dynamics in the ancient world. Alaric's warriors were disciplined and strategic, utilizing their deep understanding of Roman politics and warfare. The Vandals' journey. The Vandals, under King Gaiseric, crossed into North Africa and established a kingdom centered in Carthage. Known for their naval prowess, they launched raids across the Mediterranean, culminating in the sack of Rome in 455 CE. The Vandals' warriors became symbols of adaptability, transforming from nomadic fighters into rulers of a sophisticated maritime kingdom. Legacy. The migrating Germanic warriors left a dual legacy. They were seen as destroyers of the Roman order, but also as creators of new kingdoms that preserved and reshaped Roman traditions. 11. Theodoric the Great, the Gothic king. Theodoric the Great, king of the Ostrogoths, was one of the most prominent Germanic leaders to blend martial skill with statesmanship. His reign marked a high point in the integration of Roman and Germanic traditions. The legend. Trained in Constantinople, Theodoric combined Roman education with Gothic heritage. He led his warriors to Victo,